Hi folks, this is Tommy speaking at you. Thanks for getting this DVD, and I hope it's going to be a great help to you. That's my desire for you. I've chosen songs from 3 of my albums only, The Endless Road and The Mystery. And so there's instruction for a lot of songs on here, and I hope that you enjoy it. Remember that you've got to practice. There's no way, no getting out of that. Some people don't like that 4-letter word work, do they? But you really do need to get to work if you want to get anywhere on this mysterious little box that we so love to play. So the very first song I'm going to teach you today is a song called Luttrell. Some people say Luttrell, but I call it Luttrell. It's the town where Chet Atkins was born, out there in East Tennessee. And I actually wrote the song out there. I went out to the very spot where he lived as a child, and I wrote this song. So I'll play it for you, and then I'll just show you any little difficult parts that you may come across. So here it is. It's in A minor. It goes like this. Something like that. That's Luttrell. So let's go through it now, and I'll point out any parts that you may have difficulty with. And I suggest to you the parts like that little lick, which is quite difficult to play if you haven't done something like that before. When you've learned the song, go through to that passage and all the difficult parts in it and really practice them over and over and over until you can really play them fluidly. And then you'll find that the song will have a flow instead of you getting worried that here comes that difficult part, you know. So that part there. So okay, so here from the top. So that I'm doing hammer-ons there. So. That's an interesting little lick, that one. It's an E augmented. So, and I'm covering the 2 strings with the 1 finger there again, as I do. As you go through this DVD, you'll see I do that a lot. It's one of my traits. It's all about saving fingers and making things economical when I'm playing. So I'll go through that one more time. Now the bridge, I go. Now I'm pumping the A bass. So that's a C, then a B flat 7th. That's a nice little lick. Now I'm playing the same thing again, but now I'm putting the boom tick back. So on that run up there, ba, 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 ba. Now this is like an F major 7th to the E, or B diminished. That would be, but I would call it a E flattened 9. I think would that be so? So I get a nice little discord thing there as well. You listen to this. And then I set up. So that's how the lick goes. So. And there again. So we play that through twice. We do that whole thing through twice, and then the ending we do this little augmented lick twice. So now this lick at the end. I'll just do that really slowly. So, that's right. The last little bit of it is like a triplet. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. 3, 4. And I just bend it down like that. So I'll do it in speed for you, then I'll slow it down again. That's the first part of the lick. Then it goes. Okay, so. Then I go. So I'm going to play the whole ending piece for you now. And that's it. That's Luttrell. Okay, let's do Timberlake Road. Timberlake Road is the address of my very dear friend, Mr. Mark Pritchard, and his wife and daughter. I stayed there a few times, and out my window I could see across to the Smoky Mountains, and it was Very inspiring, very, very inspiring. And Timberlake Road is a kind of, almost like a fiddle or a mandolin song, and it has this repetitive melody going. So it's a boom chick style, but it's a little more bluegrassy kind of thing. So I'll play it right through for you, just nice and steady. And with the wonders of modern technology, you'll be able to see everything I'm doing. Ooh, here we go. How's it start? Oh, I just started, that's right. Don't mind me, I just wrote it. Bridge. Okay, that's Timberlake Road. Just want to point out a few things to you when you're playing the melody and the verses. The melody is kind of almost in front of where the beat is, and so you really got to get your hand ready. And in order for you to play that F sharp, so the A, F sharp, I've got to bring my thumb over to hold that bass down and also allow me to. So that's the position I use there for the F sharp minor. Here. Now F, again I'm using my thumb. And I use that because that's what God gave me. And so people who don't use their thumbs usually play the guitar in a kind of classical way, which is where they like hold it like that, and their technique looks like that. That's correct. But in order to play this kind of style, you really need to get your thumb over, because it's going to really help you get the clarity in, not only in the bass, but get the clarity in the melody part, which is most important. So now, there's another thing I wanted to point out is the middle section, which goes. I just wanted to point out that I'm still feeling the time and keeping time in double time. Da, 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 da. There's where the time is. When I get to the... It's in half time now, but I don't stop feeling the time in double time. So it keeps me really in the groove and in the pocket. And I can lay back that melody with confidence, knowing that I'm going to come right back in on it. So... There's a little thing I wanted to point out there is I do an upstroke with my thumb pick. If you watch this hand, you'll see. Here. And again. Get to this point here, this is like the real, the climax of the song here. It's really coming to the point, leading us back into the melody one more time. So I kind of go into a strum there. And then I hit it there. So let me now show you the lick at the end so you can get that. So, here it is. I'll do that for you. So, it's a bit of a stretch there. So I hit that last one and then I go. So. And I play that. So hold that last note down with my little finger here. And you'll notice that the second finger, the third finger is there as well. That's because you don't want to put all the pressure on that string with your little finger. You can need to help it along a little bit. So whenever you use your little finger in an important situation like that, always support it with the second finger. It'll keep your clarity there, which is what you need. Last one. Timberlake Road. Okay, let's do Angelina. Angelina is my youngest daughter, and I wanted to write her a song where the melody kind of spelled out her name. Angelina, da 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 da. Angelina, da 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 da. So the melody spelling out her name, and I tried to get little things in here that were kind of like her personality too, like in the bridge. There's something, when Angelina was born, her mother and I both felt that there was something kind of old-fashioned about her, and we didn't quite know what it was, but we just had that feeling. And so we called her, she was born in May, she was a May baby, so we called her Angelina May, and it's a kind of an old-fashioned sounding name, but I really, really love it. And of course I really, really love her. So let's go through her song, and I'll just play it nice and steady, as Chet used to say, as the composer intends, and watch what I'm doing, and then I'll dissect a little bit for you. So here we go. All right, for Angelina. Now I'm just going to go through it, all the positions in the song. The introduction, I'm trying to get everything to sustain there. So, see that? And then on that last chord, I just kind of drop the pick down over the strings, get that little zinging sound that I talked about in many of my other DVDs. The zing there. Then the melody. There's the harmony there. So. And what I'm doing with my pick there, again, on that second note, and there, just lightly picking upwards. So. I'm just muting. Now this part here, I'm doing a little trill there. Then I go again. Now, instead of going there, I use the same notes. But then I'm already set up in that position for the B minor. That's about the hardest part in the song, right there. So you've got to really... That's well, I've got the capo on the second fret, so, but I'm still thinking that I'm in D, right? Well, I know I'm actually in E. That's the actual key that the song is in. But because I got a capo there, I'm using that position. I'm thinking in D. So if I say here, that means B minor, and here is F sharp minor. But in actual fact, it's a tone up. But it's easier to think that way when you use a capo, and it makes it easier for you. So let me just go through that middle part again. Also, I wanted to show you that I'm covering two strings with one finger there. So then now again, that's an augmented with the seventh. Beautiful sound, isn't it? Again, I'm covering two strings with the one finger. I do this a lot, and sometimes it confuses people, and they write to me and say, how did you do that? I've been trying to work this song out, and the answer is, I do it a lot. I cover two strings with one finger. I've got these nice pads on the end of my fingers here, and so instead of grouping all those fingers together, I just cover the two with the one finger. So then I go. Now when I hit those harmonics, I want them to sustain all the way through that line. Tum, tum. So you see, I'm using my melody finger here and the pick. Okay, so you got that? And now I'll just take you through the harmonics at the end. It's I'll do that last line. And so we're going to do drive time now. I wish you lots of luck. Well, it's not an easy song to play, and I use the capo on the 2nd fret. And again, even though now we're in F sharp, I still think like I'm in E. So I'm just going to play the song all the way through from start to finish, nice and steady, so you can see what's going on. Hopefully pick up everything that you need to pick up. And I'll try to remember if there's any difficult parts in it, apart from what's between the first bar and the last bar, because all that stuff in the middle is difficult. Here we go, drive time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's drive time. You will notice that in quite a few of the positions I'm using my thumb over the top in order for me to get that here. I'm actually covering it's the C sharp note there, which was on the 5th string. I'm actually getting that sound there. I presume there would be another way of getting it, but I think I've got it the best way there. With the open. When I'm playing this particular style, some people call it hybrid picking. I call it playing music. But the way, there are sometimes when I play the melody with my finger, sometimes with the pick. So let me just go through the first bridge. So. Now, that part there, right at the end where it goes, I'm sending the melody ahead like this. Here. Gives me a split second to change to that second chord. So, and I'll let that. Back into it again. You hear that the melody is going ahead there quite a lot. The song has so many different things about it that I could spend a week trying to explain every bar of the thing. But anyway, you've seen me play it. You've seen how it works. There really isn't any other tricks in it except that you're just going to have to work it out and practice it. Practice is so important. You need to be, as many times as you think you've played one song, well, times that 1,000 and keep going. Because the more you play things, the better you're going to get at it. And repetition should be your friend. And let me tell you, don't practice in front of your family or in front of other people. Go and practice somewhere on your own, because that's, repetition drives most people mad. But without it, people like you and I are not going to get anywhere on the instrument unless we really get to work. So that's it. Here's Endless Road. This is quite an involved piece, and it has several sections which I wrote individually and just put them together. I wrote the original theme, this part. I wrote that back in Australia many years ago, and then the rest of it I wrote in England and just kind of pieced it together. So I'll play it from top to bottom for you, and then I'll just lead you through each section. This won't hurt a bit. Here we go. Okay. Whew. That's Endless Road. It's quite an emotional ride for me, that song. And always enjoy playing that song. So let me just slow down the opening lick for you. I try to get those notes to all kind of run into one another. There's a little pull-off thing there too. And again, I'm playing this with a straight pick, so I get. See, I'm kind of strumming, but I'm playing the melody as well. It's difficult for me to describe exactly what I'm doing there. You just have to watch it. And you'll see that when I need to play the melody and keep the strum going, I then employ my melody finger to pick that up. There, like that. There. Now the second time I do that, I'm led into the next section of the song, which is the more slower passages now. So I come up here. Now this song is very demanding with tuning, because there's so many open notes, and you really have to concentrate and get in tune, because if it's slightly out of tune, it'll sound bad. So really, when you're playing Endless Road, just really make sure that you're really as in tune as you can possibly get. So here we go. Da, da, da. That's a hard. You see how I brought the thumb around there again? Yay! Yeah. Yeah, this is a difficult little passage right here. The B flat, then the F with the A, G into D. Then again, and then the second time we get to that. And when I play this song with an orchestra, there is time going through that section there. There is a certain amount of bars. When I play it solo, I don't think about that. I just go. Let it sustain, and then. Okay, what I do there. Then I mute a little bit, and then into the melody. Same chords again. Now. Thumb again, you see that? Now we're up to the point where I play that fast run. Okay, so I'll just tap time through that so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4. So, in order for that to work properly, there's the exact right amount of notes in there. It's not just a flurry of notes. It's carefully worked out, and it's the exact amount of notes that I need to go to land right on that spot. So that you got to. Okay? And I sustain that last part there with some vibrato as well. Get it in, dig into it, baby. And then back to the. Well, then it quotes the melody and comes back into our original melody, and then it finishes with that. And that's that. Enjoy working that one out. So let's do Game Show Rag into Cannonball Rag. Now, I wrote Game Show Rag, and of course the name Game Show Rag was carefully chosen because I knew I was writing something that was a little crazy and had a lot of chords and a lot of changes, and it just reminded me of, you know, The Price is Right, come on down, and all that stuff, and all the crazy music from those game shows. So what I really wanted was I wanted to record Cannonball Rag, the famous Merle Travis song, but I wanted to do something of my own as well. So I wrote Game Show Rag, and then I kind of put the two together, and I really like how it works, and I made a few changes with Cannonball Rag. And instead of playing it as it was originally written, like, right, I went. So I made some sort of little groovy harmonies here and there, everywhere. So let me play it through in its entirety for you, and then we'll pick the eyes out of it. So here we go. Game Show Rag. Cannonball. The opening passage of it is a typical Merle Travis, Chet Atkins thing to play with. Right, so that's. Right, then I go. Again, you'll see I'm using my thumb, so. Now, that's a C. I'm using the thumb to cover. It's a flattened 5. It's a ninth with a flattened 5. Didn't know I had that kind of knowledge, did you? Eh? Ba, 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 ba. Then again. Back to the introduction. Hey. We play that through again, and then when we get to the bridge the second time. Now, this is the last time. And now I do the run up on the bass. And I end up in D, and that's puts me right in the middle of Cannonball Rag. Okay, so let's go through Cannonball now. So you've got the D position here, and you go. When I'm playing that D chord, I don't actually go, because I play it more like Travis. I just go. So let me just slow that down for you again. So. The way that Travis did it originally was like. Something like that. If you want to know how really to play Cannonball Rag properly, ask my friend Eddie Pennington. He's the greatest player of Cannonball Rag. Him and Tom Bresch, wow, they're the greatest. So, okay, so let's go through the next section of Cannonball. I'm using that position for the E chord. So, A. I'm doing a 13th. To a raised something there, raised 5, augmented. So D, and again. Now, sometimes I play like a chromatic run going backwards from the high D. It's like that. So I'll just do that for you one time so you can see what that is. And so I pick it up with my thumb right at the end there. Because I play it fast, you don't hear the it's coming down. Then the thumb joins. It just sounds like one long, like that. So I'll do it one time. You see how it works? Now I'll try and do it slowly for you. So. was a miracle, wasn't it? Okay, so that's, yeah. Okay, so now the next section is where I do this. Nice chords there, and I got those from Chet. I sat in the basement and stole from Chet. So that's the way Chet used to play. Used to play like a really nice E augmented kind of sound. So there it is. This finger's this hand is doing just like forward rolls. So A, D, G, then I go E, A, then and it's slightly discorded there. It's a really cool sound, and it's a way of changing that because most people who play this song always play it pretty much the traditional way and pretty faithful to how it was originally written. And I always like to change things around a little to make them into kind of my own style. So, yeah. Now, from here, we do the bass solo. Okay? So now, I'm going to show you the lick on the end. It goes. So. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's a kind of a cross-section of Chet Atkins and Jerry Reed's style there. And, you know, Jerry and Chet and Lenny Breau invented all this stuff, you know, and especially... Yeah, Lenny Breau was the absolute master of all that. And Chet and Jerry kind of started the whole ball rolling there with those things. But so, let me just do it for you one time. Also, when I play this lick, so it has real punch, I come back a little bit so there's more mid-range here. I come back towards the saddle. Sorry. Try to get every note in perfectly. I want to thank Bresh too for the idea of doing that anyway. Here. Yeah, I kind of stole that idea from Tom Bresh, and the check's in the mail, Tom. Anyway, so there it is, Game Show Rag, Cannonball Rag. Hope you had a lot of fun with that. Going to do the man with the green thumb now. The man with the green thumb. That man is Chet Atkins. I wrote the song and kind of dedicated it to him because a person with a green thumb, every seed they plant, everything that they plant grows. And Chet was like that with so many people. Everybody who came in contact with him, their lives were definitely touched and changed. And he was a beautiful and wonderful person. So I wrote this song and dedicated it to him. There's also a little Merle Travis quote in this song that not many people pick up on, but it's actually the very first bar of the bridge is a little quote from Travis's Saturday Night Shuffle, which Saturday Night Shuffle went like this. So the first bridge, the first bar of the bridge in The Man with the Green Thumb is then it goes off. So, okay, so I'll play it through for you. Watch carefully, and then once I've played it, I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the right hand because it's really important to get the groove on this song right, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's get grooving, baby. Okay, there it is. So let me firstly explain the groove and the thumb thing that I'm doing here. The thumb is basically going. It's the fingers that are causing like what I would call ghost notes in there. So it's playing. When you play it in tempo, it should sound like it's kind of bubbling along. It's got its own little bubble thing going there. So let me just play it through slowly for you. So you see I'm using the thumb again there. Same again. B minor. Then up here to F sharp minor. Then this. And that note is a pull off there. So that's why when I perform the song live, I can get away with it. I go like that, you know. And people go, how do you do that? You know, and it's because I'm pulling. It's because that finger's pulling down. So, and I mean, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it's good fun, you know. So. Now these chords here are interesting. D with a F sharp bass, E with an A flat bass. Now a D bass with an A chord, which would be a kind of D major seventh, but with a suspended 2 in it, I guess. Someone of more knowledge than me would know exactly what that is, but that's about what I can figure it is. So, da, da, da. Back to there. Okay, now the bridge. And I rock that part of my hand up to let that high E note come in. Right then. Now, the next section, it's crucial that you're in tune when you play this song. So whenever I play this song, I really check, especially these two shapes. You know, because you got a third in the bass. This is a G chord. There's the, but you got the third. Then up to the A with a C sharp, and then D minor. Now, I'll just do that whole section again for you. You'll see that the melody went slightly ahead there, and that when I do that, it gives me that split second to set that shape up again. So here, you see that? Now, what I'm doing on that last part there, it's a tricky little movement here. It's the E harmonic, D harmonic, then. And I slide that back, like that. Then back to the groove again. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Let me just explain the ending. The ending where I do 2 repeats. One more time. Now the ending. It's interesting because the melody goes down and the chords go up. You watch. F sharp minor, C sharp minor with now D, da, do, to an E suspended kind of thing. So da, da, And on that very last bar, on the E chord, I play the bass first. It gives me a split second to change to that chord. You watch. And then the E major 9 there. Hope you enjoyed that song half as much as I enjoyed playing it. And thanks for listening. I'd like to do the Digger's Waltz now. This is a song I wrote after having a dream about an old soldier. And the word digger is a word that I grew up with in Australia. It not only means a soldier, but it means like an old true friend, someone who's a real true mate. And so it starts out with taps, and then I kind of set it up with a little piece that I wrote, and then I come into the main song, which is a waltz. So here it is, the Digger's Waltz. There it is, the Digger's Waltz. The hardest part about playing this song is all the sustaining. And that takes strength and to have that kind of control. So don't be surprised if you think this song is easy to play and you learn it and you struggle with it for a while. And it's probably because of that fact that you really need the strength to hold on to everything so that everything sustains beautifully. So let me just lead you through it. The capo is on the 2nd fret. It's normal guitar tuning, and so I'm using like the E position. I'm thinking in E, and so the taps part, I'm using the E suspended there. So you get, and they all ring into one another. Hear that? And then a hammer on. And what I did just right there is I let the harmony off a little early and then brought it back on. And when you listen to this, then the next section. And I play that very, very gently. And then dun, dun, dun. Then I switch to the, now I'm setting the time up. Then you'll see that I'm using my thumb again. I don't know another way of getting that particular passage as good as that without using my thumb. Here. Then, you know, that's like a augmented. And again, I'm covering two strings with one finger. So. If you can't do that, then you'll have to find another way of doing it, or grow yourself another finger. So, the bridge. Now I played this little, this part here. I played a little stronger, and I purposely wrote this melody here so it had a kind of old-fashioned sound to it. There's a part in it I'll point out. So A. Here. I've heard that kind of phrase in like a Bing Crosby song from before the Second World War. So I tried to write that in a way that it was kind of old-fashioned. Now, so I don't resolve it there until the very last beat of that bar. Then I switch to the G bass there. And the second time I get to that point, I pause there, right? And then I set it up to come back into time again. I'll just do that one more time for you. So this is the second bridge. Pause. Back into it. Okay. And the song again ends with going back into that little refrain that I kind of started with. And it's really that part of the song is to tell a story. It's like it's telling you something at the beginning and at the end. Even though it's the same chords and everything, it seems to have a different message at the end. I don't know why, but it just does to me. So let me just do the ending for you now. And the C sharp. Now you don't have to play. I don't have to play the whole chord. I'm just playing the 5th string, 3rd string, and 1st string. Now we switch to the, and I do a little slide down with my little finger there, and it sets me up nicely on that B chord. You watch. Then I slide up. Right, so I get those. There. So I hope you enjoy working your way through the Digger's Waltz. All right, I'm going to take you through Lewis and Clark now. This song was a very inspired piece of music. I read the journals of Lewis and Clark and discovered that they weren't chartered accountants. They were much more important people than that. And so when I wrote the song, I wanted to speak of the great unknown. I wanted to speak of the American West. And more importantly, I wanted the music to have the sound of the Native American people, the Indian people. And so I tried to figure a way of doing that. It was quite a challenge for a kid from down under. And so the song is very simple, but again, there's a lot of sustain going on, and it's really important that the melody has a real sustain to it and that the chords change underneath. So I'll just play the song, and you can watch carefully, and then I'll just show you anything that I think you need to know. So here it is, Lewis and Clark. So there it is. The introduction part, I kind of really take my time with it and spell out that melody, but try to do it in a way as if it was like an Indian flute somehow. So you hear that? So I'm playing this note, and that one's the same note. So this one sustains when this one changes. It's a beautiful sound. There. There's little hammer-ons there. And then again there. Then I go harmonic, note, harmonic, harmonic. And then I just do that little shaking of the bag. I don't know what I'm doing there, but it's almost like a rattlesnake or something. I don't know what it is, but no, I just know that it belongs in there. So after we get to that, we tread on the rattlesnake. And now, when I'm setting the song up, it's just E minor to G. Right? So when I play the strum, I'm sweeping up with my finger to try and create that hum sound. Hum. See that? That's how I'm getting that sound. Hum, hum, hum. And already when you listen to it just playing those two chords, there's already a mystery going on. There's already the great unknown. But it's moving, isn't it? It's got momentum. It's like we're moving. We're going somewhere. So, okay. So now the melody. You hear how there's the melody there. It sustains right across to there. Then again. So what I was saying before about the melody has to sustain, the chord changes happen smoothly underneath, but that melody just is. So that the melody has a kind of life of its own, and the backing, the chords underneath are just this constant motion. And I'm using, when I get to that D chord there, yeah, I'm using my thumb to play the third down here. Okay, let's do the chorus. So the chorus is on this chord here, which is an E minor seventh with a ninth. There's the shape there. So now I've got to point something out here that some people have made me aware of. I wasn't aware of it until they pointed it out, because a lot of people have trouble playing this song at this point. I'll tell you why. Because I'm playing the melody, rocking the knuckle of my second finger there. You see that? You watch. See that? I'm rocking the knuckle backwards and forwards and letting the finger come down like that. That's how I get that melody. And okay, so if you can if you can get all that together and watch very carefully the previous footage of me actually playing the song, all those things I've just pointed out to you will become very apparent. And they're all very important in making the song work and getting the right feel on the song. So I hope you enjoy that. Okay, thrill seekers, it's time for Mombasa. And I was just discussing with the crew here what an inspired song that is. What a song full of joy and love this song is. And I've played it every night of my life ever since I wrote it, and it still really moves me to play this song. And I'm so happy that I'm able to show you how to play it so you can have the same feeling. Okay, so I'll just play it through a verse and in the bridge and the last verse for you, and then we'll just slow some parts down for you. It starts with this kind of groove. Bridge. Okay, that's how the song goes. Let me point out a few things to you. So the bass is ba, ba, da, ba. So and sometimes when I play this song on stage, I kind of quote a little bit of the melody. I go like that. And the introduction. So now let's take it from the verse. Again, I'm using the thumb over the top in order for me to make that beautiful sound. And that I'm playing the open E there. Then. Now there I'm kind of pumping the bass out. In order to get that little lick there, I slide those three fingers. Then E. That's. Now it's very important on that run up where it goes. Da, da, da. I'd like to thank James Taylor for that one line there. Don't play the G string. Whatever you do, don't play the G string. Just the. Da, 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 da. Then A. Now I do a little, which is a tricky little thing to do. And you maybe, if you've never done that before, you might have a little trouble with it. Well, that's normal. Give yourself time. You're doing things with your hands that you've probably never done before, and they're wondering what you're trying to do, probably. So just observe that, and then because I've done it a lot, you can see my hand sort of is setting itself up for the next little lick, so everything works smoothly. So, but that takes practice, you know. There it is. Now let's do the bridge. I'll do this nice and slowly for you. And again, I'm pumping the bass. I'll do that again for you. Now what I did there is when I came into that second part of the bridge, I kind of moved back on the A string and played it a little stronger, so because I wanted to sustain over the next few bars. I'll show you what I mean. Now, it has to sustain that long. So I hit that A just a little harder than before. Now that's quite a stretch, and the melody is on the little finger, which is most people's weak spot. So I suggest to you that you can do some things to really strengthen up this part of your hand. I usually do stuff like I'll hold, that's an F major 7th. I'll hold that for as long as I can, move it around. Purely just to build the muscles up in my hand here. Now, back in Mombasa, you're really going to need the strength there because the melody is on your little finger and the bass is back here. Oh, it's tough. See that? Now, the next line. So again, I'm using my thumb over on the F sharp. Now, my hand has come up and I'm set up to do this rather tricky little thing here. It's a lot harder than it looks. It takes real strength to have that kind of control there. I'm with my first finger here on the 4th string, so I get. Then I go. Okay, so I'll just go through the middle section slowly and play the whole thing here. That's Mombasa, yeah. Oh, that's the mystery. I think my G string might have slipped a little bit in the middle of that, but anyway, that's about as close as I can get it right now. There are a few things I want to tell you. First of all, it's the same tuning as the Tall Fiddler, A down to G, E down to D. And I'm up a tone from where I would normally play. I just leave this capo on just to help the guitar hold its tuning. And now I'm using another capo because I want to play it up a tone. So it would, see, it's there. So that's actually A flat minor. That's what you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft, A flat minor. So there it is. So that's the key I play this song in. And now I wrote this song. Again, it's another very inspired song, and there are things about it that I'd like to point out. That I really had been listening to Alison Krauss and Union Station a lot, and just really enjoying not just their playing and their singing, but the vocal harmonies and how they used their vocals. And I wanted to try and write something that I could do that on the guitar. So so that's how this song was born. It's also a kind of tribute to love itself, this song. So that's why it's a mystery. There's some really unusual shapes there, isn't there? Then, now I get this. And that's where I'm trying to get that vocal group sound. Again. Now I'm covering these two strings with the thumb, and then these two with that one finger. So. Again, I'm trying to get that vocal group sound. I'm covering the three harmonies with that one finger there. So that's the first verse. And he does this. What I do now, a bit of a songwriter's tool here, is and instead of repeating it again, because we've heard that little section 3 times now, what I do is I take the second part of the chorus and put it in there, like a little bridge. So I put that part in the verse. Now, chorus. And it naturally feels right to me, and it feels like that part of the music led us back into the chorus, right, without us playing again 4 times in a row. So I do it 3 times and then into that section. So now there's a little breakdown section, which, you know, if I had the luxury of having the voices of angels singing around me, this is what I'd like them to do. This. Such a beautiful sound. So let me just take you through the bridge section now. So the second chorus. Now, that time I do. And that's the only one I know how to get that sound. I'm covering top strings with my thumb again, and then instead of going, I'm going, which is a very different sound, and it's really, really sweet. Yeah. Now the breakdown section. Again, like I play that like a voice. Play that like a singer would do. And now we're coming into the melody on the last time, and so I don't repeat myself yet again like I did in the first part of the song. What I do is this. This is the same. Here, instead of going, I go, and that, because that chord sustains like that, it allows me to do a little thing there, which is, so, and it's really nice for the ear that, to resolve to that other chord. Instead of this one, I play just the open chord. And last chorus. Now I just turn this part around. That third one is a bit of a stretch. We do that around as many times as you like. And we finish like this. And I go, and that's the mystery. It's a bit of a handful, and you're going to find it a tough one to play. But I hope you're inspired enough to want to stick at it and work it out. It's a song written and inspired by love. Let's do Those Who Wait. This is another very inspired song, and I'm going to play it on my little guitar. When I did the original recording, I used my bigger Maton guitar, which has a lower tuning. It's a normal guitar tuning, but it's down a tone and a half, so it sounds a lot deeper. But when I play it live to an audience, I just tune my E string down to D, and then so then I have a nice deep bass down there, and it works beautifully. So I'll just play the song through as I wrote it, and you can watch, and then if there's some things that I can think that might help you to play the song, I'll go through those for you. So here we are. Okay, that's Those Who Wait. When I play this song, I try to think like a singer with a kind of vocal group, especially in that chorus. Harmonies, and then I go. They're like group harmonies. There's a little thing I do there as well in that chorus, where when I hit that part there, I stroke it upwards instead of downwards. So I get, there it is. And that chord there is, it's a very nice sound. It's a G bass with the thumb, and then bring that harmony in a little bit later. So let me just walk you through the positions of this song. So the very first part of the verse is. B flat note there is sustaining. And up to B. And C. Into the chorus. And sometimes when I get to that section, usually on the second time round, before I come into the second chorus, I'll just pull back on the time when I get onto that C chord, which kind of makes it then fall back into the groove of the chorus. So I go here. So it adds a little drama to it, adds a little emotion, and it makes the chorus come in a very nice way. A bass, B. Now, on the second time round, after the chorus, what I tried to achieve with this was almost like a singer, the story and the emotion in the song is building. So instead of it the second time around going, I did this. So it's the same chords, but it's a higher melody line, and it's almost like it's really trying to get the emotion in the music and the story behind the music comes out right there. And what I'm doing there also is I'm doing upstrokes. So. And on that last one, I really make it I take my time on the slides. So. Now. And pause. So that's pretty much how to play it and how it all works. And I'm very happy that people love this song. As the composer, it really makes me feel great when people tell me that this song changed their life. It did something to them, and I couldn't wish for more than that. Okay, this is Antonella's birthday. Same tuning as the Tall Fiddler. A down to G, E down to D. Capo 2nd fret. And so this song was, of course, written in Italy and dedicated to one of my dearest friends, Antonella. There's a few things about this song that are pretty tricky, so I'm going to play it nice and steady. The other thing I wanted to point out is that I'm going to count the song in, so you understand where the harmonic run on the start of the song starts, because I can feel it immediately, but sometimes when you listen to it, it's hard to tell where one is until the song actually comes in. So I want you to be able to do that. So it's those harmonics, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. So let me just walk you through it. Starting with the opening phrase is a harmonic run. Now I'm just going to do it really slowly. I'm going to count it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. In order for you to get all those notes to ring and for that to work, you need to practice getting your hand spread like that. So your fingers when they touch the strings, you're absolutely dead on the fret. Not anywhere near it, but absolutely dead on it. And then everything rings. You see that? So. And the melody starts. They're all harmonics, then. Now I'm letting that come through as I play that little bit of melody. You'll see quite a lot of that I'm playing with my fingers. So. Beautiful sounding chords there. It's like an E minor ninth there. C, B. That part there, I get to each change as quick as I can, so it's ba 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 ba. So it's like anticipating the beat. So. Then I hit. On that line there, quite often I'll lay that melody way back in the groove. You listen to this. There. Now the next part is probably the hardest part in the song, where you're there in D, and now you're switching, and you've got to move your finger just slightly up. So you're fretting there, and then you switch to the harmonics. So you move your finger just so it's dead on the fret. So this is what I get. They're all harmonics. Then we go. So let me just do that for you again. I've only done it 1,000,000 times, and sometimes I don't get it, sometimes I do. So. Then back into the melody. So the last harmonic is the start of the next verse. So. Now the ending, I do the repeat. And then I switch to that position, which is the same position as the introduction. And finishes. I finish by just hitting the the open harmonics there. So I'll just play the ending. And it couldn't be sweeter. The Tall Fiddler is a song I wrote dedicated to my friend Byron Berline, a man I admire very, very much. And I love his playing, his musicianship. He's an inspiration to so many. And on top of that, he's one of God's good guys, you know. And so as I play this, I'll think of his smiling face in my mind. The song is in a slightly different tuning. I have the A string down to G and the E string down to D. It's one of the tunings that I got from Chet. And it sounds good for bluegrass things. And when I play this song, with the technique with my right hand, I try to approach it like a kind of, like Ricky Skaggs playing the mandolin, you know, how Ricky has that beautiful way of playing. And so I try to approach it from that a mandolin kind of way. So here it is, the Tall Fiddler. And yeah. There we go, that's a Tall Fiddler. So let's see what's going on here, if I have any fingers left. So as I said before, I'm using the straight up and down strokes, just like a mandolin player. So, okay, then this part. And that's a C, but that's the seventh, which is on the bottom. So it's an interesting sound. So I played through twice in the slower tempo. Then I take the tempo up, and then it becomes kind of a hoedown, doesn't it, from there on? And what I do then is play the melody around in the faster tempo, and then I play this little lick which goes. I'll just slow that right down for you now. So in tempo, I'll just take the tempo up a little bit so you can hear how the idea is because it's pull-offs as well as I'm playing here. You got to get it to sound like it's really peeling off kind of thing. So. Okay, that's really pretty much how it should sound. I'll just do that really slowly for you one more time. Like anything that you learn on the guitar, especially the difficult passages, you should really practice them over and over and over. Even if you're watching television or something, you can sit and do that with your hands, just so your hands really get used to playing those things, and you don't have to struggle with it. You need to get past that and get it so your hands just do it for you. That's the way to go. Repetition is your friend, and that's what you need. So. And when I'm playing a song like Tall Fiddler and Game Show Rag, any of those songs, you see that I'm really tapping my foot here. I'm like trying to dig a hole in the ground and to hang on to that groove, because when the music gets fast, it's still got a groove. And so you can play something fast, but still play it absolutely in time. I always try to be aware of the time as much as I can. And one of the best ways is to tap your foot and to think about the time as well. So when I'm playing, I got all this going here, but I'm centered with my time as I'm playing. I'm tapping my foot. So think about that. Be very aware of your time. The ending of the song, it's pretty much the opening lick. That's it. And I just bend that. I just kind of whack it right at the end. Okay, that's how the ending goes. It's over to you. Here's Old Town, and Old Town was a song I wrote and dedicated to Tommy Jones, a great guitar player from Florida. And he was born and raised in Old Town. And so the song actually, somebody pointed it out, that the main melody part, this part, it's got a little bit of old Joe Clark. I didn't do that on purpose, so it was meant to be there, I guess. But anyway, I'll play Old Town for you, and the middle section, where it goes into the minor section like a breakdown. I kind of think of that as like Tommy's Requiem, you know? I hope he's running around playing guitar with Chet and Django up there in heaven. That's where I hope he is. In fact, I'm sure he is. Okay, so here it is, Old Town. Okay, Old Town. Let me just talk you through it. The introduction. So I'm trying to get that D note to sustain. And then, so I'm using the thumb again over the top there. Seems like I do that a lot, doesn't it? Anyway. Now the melody. It's a cool sound. Yeah. Then I pump the A bass there. Then now I pump the bass here in this the first part of the bridge. Here we go. Now I'm using a really unusual chord there. I call that my Quincy Jones Ironside chord. I heard that, I think I learned that chord from an Ironside program. I just loved that sound. It was really unusual. So thanks, Quincy. Now, that's a tricky little one to get, because I get. So that's how I do that. And then back into the second time round. When you get to this spot, the next time round, then you're into the requiem part. And I use these shapes. I'm letting that E kind of leak through, that B note, sorry, leak through there, so you get that sound. Second time I go, then so forth. Then back through that again, the same thing, and then right at the end of the second bridge, it actually comes straight into the introduction again. So it goes. So I hit that melody note and then go straight into what was the original introduction. So and then we play one more time. Okay, so then the ending goes like this. Now I go. So let me play that lick again for you. These are harmonics. Hammer on and then bring that up to the A there. Nice sound, isn't it? One more time. And there it is. Okay, Train to Dusseldorf is a song I wrote actually on a train to Düsseldorf. It was very early in the morning, and I kind of was the only person on the train in Germany. And I wrote myself a little soundtrack while I was whizzing across the countryside there. So I'll play the song at a medium pace for you, and then I'll slow down some of the licks for you. Here it is. So the introduction is... And... So that's it at a kind of medium pace. Sometimes I play a little quicker than that on stage. But now I'm going to slow it down for you so you can learn each part and put it together. So the opening lick, which is a very tricky little thing, it's a pull off and hammer on kind of thing. So it's G is the first chord. There, and then... There. F sharp. Into G. I'll do that again. Now the lick in G. Then F sharp with a open G, B, and E. And then I slide up to the B minor position, and I hold those two notes down there, but the rest of these are harmonics. It gives that really mysterious sound. And then into... Now I'm playing this kind of sound here to give it almost like a train feel. Bridge. Train's coming into the station here. So I kind of get that train whistle thing. And I slide my finger up to the B bass there. Like that. Okay? There's a few things that I wanted to point out. the melody is anticipated in a certain part of this, the verse of this song. Here. So if in time that sounds like 1, 2. There's also one other thing I wanted to point out was in this part here. What I did, I believe, on the original recording is I came up here with my right hand to give it that sound so everything kind of melts, the notes melt into one another like this. And then I slowly, on the last one, I moved right back, which gave it a bit more drama there. And, which led me back into the melody again. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all I had to tell you about that. If you watch carefully how I play it, if you've got the book, then you'll know what to do. So here it is, the Digger's Waltz. And There we go. That's a tall fiddler.